So it's bad, but it's not like worst case. So I was right. You remember how I kept joking about how it's probably cancer, and it's cancer.
Saan that?
So
Cancer saan ko?
in the esophagus.
So ano bang kuya? Sabi ng doktor.
So it's advanced in its local region.
No.
I don't know what stage cancer it is though.
Paano yung pagkain mo? Nakapayat ka lang.
I mean that's just because I can't eat anything.
That's why ano pwede mo kainin. Dahil pag hindi nakain, mahirap.
Oh, I just have to keep eating all those stuff.
You're assessing an oncologist.
Mm-hmm. And then they might discuss radiation and chemo. So, oh my gosh, Mom, no. I told. Breaking it to the family was pretty rough. So I did get the phone call, as you saw from my previous video. I was still like in disbelief, where it all kind of sounded like a joke. All the risk factors for cancer is smoking, drinking, obesity, a whole host of other factors, and I just did not check any of those. Plus, being at a young age, it was just like, wow, okay. Family was something else for sure. But anywho, let's answer some of the big questions that you guys have. How bad is it? How big is it? What stage? Blah, 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 blah. This vlog will discuss how bad the situation is. Instead of me talking the whole time, I actually was able to film the surgical oncologist telling me the plan, both treatment and surgery. I'm going to let him talk. Roll segment.
The esophagus, so the swallowing tube, goes into the stomach, and then the stomach empties through the first part of the small intestine. And it's right here where the esophagus meets the stomach, which is called the GE junction, or the gastroesophageal junction, where this tumor seems to be. Okay, and Dr. McDonough measured this out. So from the teeth, this is at 39 centimeters. Okay, and he measured the tumor. Went from 37 centimeters, so coming this way, down to about 44 centimeters. Okay? So it's a decent sized tumor.
Very big size
Right.
tumor.
And so when we talk about tumors in this location, we talk about how do we best deal at them. And tumors in this location can be a little bit, I don't want to say problematic, but it's important for us to kind of make a decision about, did this start in the stomach and work its way up? Did this start in the esophagus and work its way down, or did it kind of start right in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me talk about the differences on how these are treated. Okay, so if it's treated as esophagus, or if we treat it like stomach, that's kind of where I need to sort out the differentiation. One thing I need to get is those pictures. The other thing that I need to get is a PET scan. All right?
Yeah.
So a PET scan will tell me kind of where the activity is, and it might show me how much tumor is down into the stomach. Because ultimately the surgery that we do to treat this differs. Okay? So if this is esophagus cancer, for the most part we would start out with chemotherapy, radiation therapy. XRT is radiation, and then we follow that with surgery, okay? And that surgery is an esophagectomy, where we take out a significant portion of the esophagus and a rim of the stomach.
How would you go about binding that?
So this comes out, as well as the lymph nodes around it, and then we have to hook you back up. So we actually take the stomach, turn it into a tube, and bring it up and hook it up to the esophagus. Okay. Robotically, we mobilize the stomach. We mobilize the esophagus through a small neck incision. We do the exact same operation, but we do it through smaller incisions. And me and my thoracic surgery partners work together on that. That's if we determine that this is going to be, we're going to call this esophagus. Because there is a fair amount of tumor that at least looks like it could be below this GE junction, we might decide to call this a stomach cancer after we get the rest of the information. And the treatment differs based on that. Usually we start with chemotherapy, follow that with surgery, and then when you recover from surgery, you get more chemo. Sometimes radiation too, XRT. And if that were to be the case, the surgery that we would be talking about would be something called a total gastrectomy, where we cut above the tumor, we cut down here, and then we actually bring the small intestine up to connect that. So it's a big difference in treatment. So I need the EGD pictures, I need the PET scan, and then what we do is we talk about you in what we call a multidisciplinary conference. And that is a tumor board or something like that. We review things with the pathologists, the radiologists, GI doctors, other surgeons, other chemotherapy doctors. That's to me the big question of which one it is. Both of these are big operations. In no scenario do I see that you're not going to get chemotherapy. Okay? So I would advocate putting a port in. A chemotherapy port is a little disc that goes underneath the skin. It has a catheter that goes into the big vein in your neck, and they can use that to give you chemotherapy. They can use that to draw blood. They can use that to do the X-ray studies that you need, that you're going to need along the way here. Okay.
So right now it's pretty advanced in its local area, but the CT with contrast didn't see it spread anywhere.
I didn't see anywhere else on the CT scan that it had gone to, which is a good sign.
That's good.
The PET scan shows us the activity of the tumor. So PET scan works by a special labeled sugar that they inject, and the sugar gets taken up in areas that are using a lot of sugar, so the brain, the heart, those things normally light up, but tumors also light up. So if there are spots that we aren't seeing on a CT scan, we'll see that.
Okay. You don't know what stage it is though, right?
This would
Or do you know?
probably be a stage 3.
Okay.
3 basically means that it involves some lymph nodes, and I know Dr. Madonna saw a couple of lymph nodes, or at least one lymph node, that looked suspicious on the ultrasound, so we would call that. And then because it is a little bit deep, where it gets into that lining of the lung, this would be a stage 3.
Okay. Do we have any worry of it metastasizing?
Yes, so
Okay.
the higher the stage, the higher the risk that it's gone other places, either microscopically, so if they're little tiny cancer cells that are in the liver, the lungs, or other places that we can't see on the scans. When it's in the lymph nodes, it is at an increased risk of that happening, which is why we do all those things. Chemo, maybe radiation, more chemo, because that goes everywhere. That goes in the bloodstream, and
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know how big it is, what stage it is, the options. These are all the answers I needed for telling everyone.
So yeah, but anywho, I just want to say thank you for all the support, for reaching out. It has truly meant a lot. And also I want to say thank you. I've reached 100 subscribers, on the road to 250 now. I think it's definitely possible, right? Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next vlog.